How's that for a beautiful morning, guys? Look at the sun. Well, not morning, it is about 12 o'clock now. I had a long sleep in because I stayed up way too long last night. And I look like a troll. Yeah. I just watched CTFXC for last night. I don't know if any of you other guys watch CTFXC, but they're one of my favorite YouTubers. And sadly, Charles has been hospitalized because he started feeling dizzy, he had like tunnel vision, and he fell over, and they got to the hospital, and it actually shows that he got a tumor in his brain. But they say it's, you can get like dangerous tumors. The Charles should be quite a good one, a normal, not a normal, but a good one to recover from. So he's going to have that removed, which is very scary, and to me it always hits me, especially because it's always the nice guys it happens to, and Charles is a really, really kind and lovely guy. So just go to CTFXC and click the thumbs up and send a little hello to them and wish them the best. And yeah, you need all the positive energy you can get. So Charles, big hugs and the best of luck, and keep thinking about you from Denmark. The sun is out here in little Denmark, which is normally so dull and dark, but I believe it's to say it's good luck for you. Look what happened to my bloody headset. It's been broken before, and I tried to fix it. So you can see I tied a nut in there because that fell out, that little tie hold it. And now the other side is broken. I had these for quite some years, but yeah, it's been fixed several places and it's just dead. I want to do something today. I want to make a requested tutorial, but first of all I'm just going to show you something. I usually use this. This is my tripod where I have my iPhone in, and the legs extend out. You can see that, so they get like that size. And I used to have this on top of it to hold it, where you can just clamp the iPhone in, and it sits quite nice on top of that. But I remember I had this thing here. I never used it really. I had it from a friend of mine, brand new. It was still in box when I had it. And I unscrewed that thing and popped it on, and what I just do is to slide this thing in here and just click it, and there we go. So I can use that for my iPhone instead, a bit more sturdy. The tutorial today I want to do is for people who've been asking about the pallets I've done, and yeah, they're not very hard to do, but there's a bit of work in it, and that's why I'm not bothered making them for selling them. I only make them for myself, but I'll gladly show you guys how to do it. So I'm gonna make one more for myself, and it's not very hard, but there is some to work to it, but I'm going to show you what to do. Okay guys, we're down in my little workshop here, and I'm going to show you how to make one of these, and show you what stuff you're going to need as well. The first thing you're going to definitely need is paint sticks. I get these in my local grocery store. I go to the paint department and ask, can I have a handful of paint sticks? That's what I use, and these are to thank them for giving them to me. This is the advertising of the company. Then you're going to need, of course, a ruler, so you can measure out how long it's going to be. Something to cut with. I use a saw like this, but you can also use one of these, or if you have an electrical device, you can use that. To help you, if you want to, you can cut each piece individually, or you can get one of these boxes here, which is like helping you cutting straight, so you just keep the blade straight on. This here is very, very cheap, and they got like different angles. You can cut like that, and straight over. And what I use it for actually is an obstacle for my fingerboard, because it's a great size for the fingerboard obstacle. And I added some skate straps underneath. So that is also a good help to have one of those. Then you can use a clamp to help you hold everything in place in here, because it can be moving around a bit. And last but not least, wood glue. Make sure you get a very good glue. Preferably what I use the outdoor glue, because that will stand moist and stuff better, because you don't know what you're gonna do with your pallet. I mean, it could be outside and get a bit of dew or whatever it can do. So yeah, let's get started. First, what I'll do is, I know that I have to use some long pieces here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 long pieces, and I'm gonna need 3 short pieces to go underneath. So that 8 large pieces and 3 small. So let me just go and get these here. Let's get 8 sticks out. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's for those, and then 3 for the short pieces. Sometimes you can be lucky enough to get the whole thing matching up. Alright, then I want to measure them, and the measure size I did for my first built pallet. It's completely by luck. I never measured it. I just did it by eye. But I can tell you how large it is. This here is 6.4 inches long, and it is 4.5 inch wide, and it is about 3/3 of an inch thick, or what do you call that? I'm not very good with inches because we use centimeters in Denmark. I can also tell you what it is in centimeters for those of you Scandinavian people. It is 16 centimeters long and 11.5 wide, and then it is 2 centimeters tall. So now everyone should know what the size is. So I decided to use my normal saw here, and a good thing is that you could hold this like that and just really hold tight. And there we are, I'm through. So I can move all these little bits here, but don't throw them away. We can use those as well. So I'll lift all my pieces out here, which is in total. So 8 of them I can take off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all my pieces for the top here and the 3 bottom layers. There we go. Got these cut. Never mind the edges, we can always sand that. So now we've got those 3. We're just going to be holding most of the stuff. The last thing we need to do now is the most fiddly part. We need to make a lot of small squares which need to be glued together as those mid pieces. The next bit we got to do, where we can use all these bits here, it's going to be a bit tricky, but it can be done. And we need to make 27 small little squares which need to be these bits here. And yeah, it can take a little while, and they're just got to be a complete square, so they are the same width like that all over, so there's just complete square. That's how you can measure it up. So you can actually just take one of these, let me just flip this around, put it to the very corner and the side so it's all leveling up, and you can just take a pen down there, and this is the size you need, like that. So then you need to make 27 of those, and yeah, I'm going to do that now. Alright, I got the all aligned, so all I need to do now is cut those, and it can be a bit tricky. That's where I say to hold them in place. What you can do, grab one of your clamps here, and just make sure that you put it down here, like this. It will mostly fit if you don't put too many in, and you just clamp this baby up. Like that. Just make sure before you tighten too much that everything is sitting as supposed to do. There we are. So take this clamp off. And now I've got 7 here. So totaling 27. Alright, when you cut all your pieces, you should have 8 of these. The longest one, 8 of those. You should have 3 of the middle sections, and you have 27 of the little small blocks which I got here. And all you need now is your glue. What you're going to do is you need to take all these little bits here and put 3 and 3 together. Just find 3 who goes very nicely in the size. So what you need to do now is very, very simple but a bit boring. You grab them here, take each of them, give them a little dab of glue, put that together and squeeze them down. Another bit of glue, and it's only a very little dab you need to do. And you just gonna line it up as good as you can and squeeze them till the glue comes out. Just leave the glue on there, just make sure that they are as evenly straight as they can be, so you can sort them out later. Just turn them around a bit, squeeze them down, so you got 2 completely flat ends. And that's just one of the bits. We need to do the whole stack. So that needs there, that's fine, that's one bit. Do the same with all the others. Okay, so I got my 9 pieces all glued together, which is perfect. So what you need to do now is to take your 3 pieces here, which is the middle ones, and make sure that you put the graphics like that down so you can't see the graphics. That's the best way of putting this, and it'll hide a little bit. So what you need to do now is you need to find the middle, which is not too hard. You can always do that. Maybe you can just eyeball it. I will normally just go ahead and say, okay, I want to make sure that it is even, mine is 4.5, so I know it's 2 point something in the middle there. And just use that to do the same. So like that, and like that. Then what you need to do is you need to take your pieces and find the nice corner, the nicest corner which is most straight, and always make sure you position that out to the corner. So just give a little bit of that glue here, there, and give it one there as well, and one in the middle. There we go. And take the nicest corner and place it as good as you can so it sits nice and even. You can do that with 3 pieces. Just find out which corner is the nicest. And find that one in there, that's better. And squeeze that down. And which one is the nicest here? The mid pieces only got 2 pointing out, so you can always just use the mid pieces, which is the worst ones, the ones that are the least even. Alright, and then you figure out what side you want to be facing out. I know I want this side, so you just turn it over, squeeze it down, so we have a nice and sitting straight. And you can do the same with the ends. With that here, and that. Doesn't matter where you do the middle ones, just spread the glue out a bit, make sure they are squeezed nice and tight, and spread glue. And that's the first bit you've done, and you need to do 3 of those. Let me get going with that. And what you need to do now is that you need to find the mid pieces. You need to make sure they're all completely, taking one like that and that. You can kind of like see it's coming together now, which this is making the bottom. That's the bottom, those pieces here. So you take your pieces here, you put one down the end there, do one down here as well, like that, and spread the glue which sticks out. Give like a seal each end, like that. And you take another piece, oops sorry, I need to get this inside in the middle. That's about the middle. I only eyeball the middle one. It's not too important. Then you take this one here and put over here, and you squeeze that down, and the same over here. Just make sure that sits nicely and properly on. And then you can actually now start correcting it a bit. You can feel if it doesn't sit properly. And the same out here, like that. And you put your mid piece on. There shouldn't be too much doubt about where the mid piece goes, so squeeze that down like that. It has some good pressure on it, and let me just get these things away here. So yeah, now it's still a bit wet, the glue, but I can maneuver it around without breaking it completely. So now you take the last bits and pieces you got here, which is quite nice, and you do one bit out here first. Just a little bit of glue there, some glue there, and there. And then you take the print inside again, and line it up so it sits nicely and quite as even as you can. And I think that is about it. Yeah. So again, when you've done that, put the same weight on again, and then leave it to dry. That I will actually say you should leave this for a good couple of hours, like 4 or 5 hours at least. And then when that's done, we can start sanding it, just to get it even more nice and smooth. I'll come down here later, in a couple of hours, and finish it off, so you guys can see how the finished project's going to look. Once again, nature gives us a beautiful, beautiful silhouette, and it's very nice because if you look up there as well, I got the moon and a couple of stars. So that's just Really, really beautiful. And that wasn't a spaceship, that was just a bit of dust on my window. But isn't that gorgeous, guys? I love these colours and I love the silhouette of all the trees and stuff. Let's have a look and see how the pallette's done. Sometimes there can be areas where the glue has not completely done through, but don't worry about that. Just make sure that it's all okay. Alright, it seems like it's glued. It seems steady. And yeah, that's really it, the palette. But what you can do then, get yourself, like I have a sanding block here, and then to treat your fingerboard palette, you can do like different hardnesses of sandpaper. This one here is a P80, the size of the corn, and this here is the smoothest one. This is a P240. So you can just take a piece of this first, just rip a quick piece off. I always just fold it first like that. It makes it easy to rip straight over. There we go. Put that on your sanding block, and just go around these edges here and hold on it while you do it, so in case the glue is not completely dry, you're not going to rip anything. So just sand up the edges a bit so it all becomes lovely and smooth. That's what we want. And here. Sorry about that little interruption, guys. The camera went out of space, so I had to go up and empty it because I've been recording quite a bit. But here it is, my new homemade palette, and I added the skate stops underneath. You can add them in there as well, but you only need the four corners. There's not going to be enough pressure in here unless you really bang hard on it. And I just made my little signature made by Isley. Yeah, and again, it is a nice thing. You can use it for several things. I mean, if you want to do like tricks and all that, you can grind on it. It's quite smooth, both as on the trucks, but also on the tails. If you can do a bow slice and all that, you can do that as well. So it's really good. It's a nice little for a manual pad. I mean, now I use it for like a manual pad. I think that's quite nice for that. If I could do a trick, I'm quite soggy right now, but that's a very good one. And as you can see, you can only see, if I put the lights on here, you can only see the text under there and under there. And yeah, you hardly notice it. You look a little bit like that. The stuff which text is in between is not very visible. So yeah, this is a nice little palette, and it's nice and hard. And because I already have, it looks very much like the other ones I have. These ones are a bit darker because they've been used, and the colours will fade after use and all that. You can see the top of them. It's like these are darker, and that will eventually look like that as well when been used for a while. But that's okay. So yeah, they are very much the same, and it can, oops, drop my fingerboard, it can stand. If you want to have it completely standing steady, you can do like what I did on my other ones. I use a sander, like a belt sander, and I just hold it down and make sure it gets all flat. But that's fine. It's a really nice little palette, and because I'm not using my pallets too often, I'm gonna keep these four I got here. This one here this will go in the trade with a new one of these. I'll make a new one of those. So a complete trade for the Punk game, and the Speed Stacks competitor, where I get the mat, the timer and everything, plus these molds, plus 14 decks here, and 3 of my own decks, which is going to be left blank, so you can drill holes and make your own graphics on it. And all that will be traded for the Kupunk Leaf Flush game, which is the like a limited edition or something like that, and also the Speed Stacks Competitor edition. So yeah, and I'll ship this out as soon as I the deal of this agreement going to be that I will ship this out as soon as I receive the parcel with the stuff in which I want to get, because not that I don't trust you guys, but I have been before shipping stuff out in a trade. I never received anything, so I'm a little bit wary on it. And this has a bit of value for me, so I want to make sure I get my stuff first as well. And I will of course do an unboxing when I receive it. Alright, so this is all the stuff. Okay, I think it's going to be it for today, guys, because it's been a quite long video. So I'm going to see you all tomorrow. Take good care. Hope you all had a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.